Havana, Cuba has arrived.
Donald Trump
doesn't care about black people.
Thanks, Kanye. Trump has done it again.
Trump administration has killed a deal that would allow Cuban baseball players to play for Major League Baseball.
Donald Trump and his administration are killing MLB's deal with Cuba, arguing the agreement violates United States trade law. So what was the deal? MLB clubs seeking to sign certain Cuban players would have to pay a release fee, 25% over the player's signing bonus, to the federation. The player would also have to pay Cuban income taxes on foreign earnings. So who is eligible? Players older than 25 years old and with 6 years of experience were eligible for the arrangement. Why is he doing this, Kanye? Donald Trump
Doesn't care about black people.
His entire campaign was built on hating anyone who wasn't white. Remember these gems?
Why isn't he giving his birth certificate?
Get that son of a bitch off the field right now. Out.
We will build a great wall along the southern border.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
President Trump referred to Haiti and African nations as S-hole countries.
Trump management was charged with discriminating against African Americans and breaking federal law.
Just weeks after the crime was committed in 1989, Donald Trump took out a full-page ad in 4 New York newspapers advocating the return of the death penalty.
What do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs.
He ran on the foundation of racism, as Vox pointed out, acknowledging it and relating to a large portion of the country. The stooges in the White House said the Cuban Baseball Federation is too closely aligned with the country's sports ministry, which is hilarious and hypocritical. Major League Baseball said, we stand by the goal of the agreement, which is to end the human trafficking of baseball players from Cuba. Trump wants to keep jobs in America, no more outsourcing. We're number one, bigly, believe me, sincerely, told Petus. This is par for the course. He wants to shut down the border because his voters, when casting their ballots, agreed the border needs to be closed. Blocking Cuban baseball players is just another element of his racist agenda. Here's the problem. Morally, Major League Baseball wanted to cut down human trafficking, the main source of players coming to America, where boats regularly carry 25 people each trip, $250,000 per haul, 2 or 3 times a month. Take Ray Ordonez, for example, who jumped over a wall to escape the Cuban national team during an international competition in 1993. Or even Yasiel Puig, who hiked 30 hours to a remote location, found their guide, ran into 2 policemen, and ran from the beach to the sea, waded in the water up to their necks. They dove to avoid police lights and the Cuban Coast Guard. They picked their way through dense mangrove thickets, careful to keep their distance from the packs of crocodiles. They were dehydrated and starved. Their guide surrendered. Puig and co. met up with men who were the leaders of an alien smuggling and boat theft ring with links to the Mexican cartel. At least 2 were fugitives from American justice. Their names on the wanted list of several enforcement agencies. At one point, their boat ran out of gas. The group spent a fretful night adrift at sea on the dead-in-the-water cigarette boat, pitching, rolling, and at one point in the wee hours, coming hair-raisingly close to getting plowed under by a passing container ship. The MLB deal with Cuba solved a horrible trafficking problem, said James Williams. By breaking that deal, the White House now owns this and exposes Cuban players to human rights abuses. You know who loves this? Water-sipping, complicit in guns murdering people, Senator. Do you know who doesn't? People who are not in favor of putting kids in cages, separating children from their mothers, people who are not in favor of banning Muslims, people who believe in freedom, liberty, and justice for all.